The crystal ship descended through Zentra's purple atmosphere like a falling star. Alex pressed his face against the viewport and watched the alien world unfold below him. Massive crystal formations jutted from the surface, each one glowing with soft inner light. Rivers of liquid silver wound between the structures, and the entire landscape sparkled as if made from precious gems. "First time seeing Zentra?" asked Captain Ben, the ship's pilot. His weathered hands moved across the control panel with practiced ease. "First time meeting any aliens," Alex replied, adjusting his diplomatic uniform for the 100th time. The formal blue jacket felt too tight around his shoulders. "I still can't believe they chose me for this." Ben chuckled. "The council knows what they're doing. You've got that honest face. The Zentrans value honesty above all else." Alex nodded, though his stomach churned with nervous energy. 3 months ago, he had been teaching history at a small university on Earth. Then the Zentran message arrived, requesting a cultural exchange and peace summit. The World Council needed someone with no military background, someone who could represent humanity's peaceful intentions. The crystal towers of the capital city grew larger as they approached. Each building looked like it had been carved from a single enormous gemstone. Blue, green, and silver light pulsed through the structures in slow, rhythmic patterns. "Their whole city is alive," Alex whispered. "The Zentrans are crystalline beings," Ben explained. "They don't build cities. They grow them. Each crystal structure is part of a larger organism that thinks and feels." The ship landed in what looked like a flower made of transparent crystal. Petals the size of buildings slowly opened to receive them. Alex gathered his translation device and diplomatic papers, trying to calm his racing heart. "Remember," Ben said as the airlock opened, "they communicate through harmonic frequencies. Your translator will handle the conversion, but be careful. One wrong word could end the peace talks before they begin." Alex stepped onto the crystal platform and gasped. The air itself seemed to sing with gentle music. Every surface around him glowed with soft colors that shifted like aurora. The beauty of it hit him like a physical force. A group of Zentrans approached across the crystal courtyard. They moved with flowing grace, their translucent bodies catching and bending the light around them. Each one stood nearly 8 feet tall, with features that seemed carved from living glass. But it was the figure in the center that made Alex's breath catch in his throat. Princess Vera moved like light itself made solid. Her crystalline form held shades of blue and silver that shifted with each step. Patterns of gold light pulsed beneath her transparent skin, creating designs of impossible beauty. Her face was angular and elegant, with eyes like captured starlight. The translation device on Alex's collar began to hum, converting the Zentran's harmonic speech into words he could understand. "Welcome, representative of humanity," Princess Vera said. Her voice rang like crystal bells. "I am Vera, heir to the crystal throne. We are honored by your presence." Alex opened his mouth to give the formal diplomatic response he had practiced for weeks. The translator device flickered, showing a small error light that he didn't notice. Instead of the careful words about peaceful cooperation, something else came out. "You're so beautiful I can't speak." The harmonic translator converted his stunned confession into pure Zentran frequencies. The words rang across the crystal courtyard with perfect clarity, carrying not just the meaning but the raw emotion behind them. Every Zentran in sight stopped moving. The gentle music of the air itself seemed to pause. Princess Vera's crystalline form began to glow brighter, colors flowing through her body in patterns Alex had never seen before. "I'm sorry," Alex stammered, his face turning red. "That wasn't what I meant to say. I mean, it was what I meant, but not what I was supposed to say." The translator faithfully converted his confused apology, complete with all his embarrassment and honesty. One of the other Zentrans stepped forward. This one's crystal body held deep purple hues, and his voice carried the weight of age. "Human," he said, "you speak in frequencies we have not heard for countless cycles. How do you project such pure emotional resonance?" "I don't understand," Alex replied. I just said what I was thinking. Princess Vera moved closer, her golden light patterns flowing faster now. You said I was beautiful. But the harmonic signature carried something more. You experienced aesthetic appreciation so intense that it disrupted your cognitive processes. Alex blinked. You mean I was so amazed by how you looked that I couldn't think straight? Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. The purple-hued Zentran spoke again. I am Rix, advisor to the royal family. In our study of your species, we learned that humans possess emotional responses. But we believed these were simple biochemical reactions. What you demonstrated was far more complex. Complex how? Alex asked. His nervousness was fading, replaced by curiosity about their reaction. Princess Vera's eyes focused on him with new intensity. You perceived beauty and responded to it with complete honesty. The aesthetic experience transformed your mental state so powerfully that you could not maintain your planned social behaviors. That's what beauty does, Alex said simply. When you see something really beautiful, it changes you. Even just for a moment. The Zentrans exchanged harmonic conversations too rapid for the translator to follow. Alex caught fragments about lost frequencies and forgotten resonances. Finally, Princess Vera spoke again. Human Alex, would you accompany us to the heart chamber? Your response has raised questions we must explore. They led him deeper into the crystal city. The buildings around them grew taller and more complex, their internal lights pulsing in synchronized patterns. Alex realized he was seeing the thoughts of a vast crystalline mind. This is incredible, he said, watching colors flow through the transparent walls. How long did it take to grow all this? Zenthra has been growing for 50,000 of your Earth years, Rix explained. We have pursued perfect harmony and logical efficiency for millennia. But you've never seen anything like this, Alex said, gesturing at the beautiful cityscape. Princess Vera slowed her pace. What do you mean? I mean you live in the most beautiful place I've ever imagined, but you talk about it like it's just a machine. Don't you ever just stop and look at how amazing this is? The princess paused completely. Her light patterns shifted to deep blue hues. We appreciate the logical elegance of our structures. We value their efficiency and harmonic resonance. That's not what I'm talking about, Alex said. I'm talking about the way the light moves through these crystals like liquid music. The way each building feels alive and welcoming. The way walking through your city makes me feel like I'm inside a living rainbow. The translator carried his words with perfect emotional resonance. Several Zentrans nearby stopped to listen, their bodies beginning to glow with curious colors. You experience our environment as more than its functional properties, Princess Vera observed. Of course, Alex replied. Beauty isn't about function. It's about how something makes you feel when you look at it. It's about the wonder and joy and sense of connection to something larger than yourself. They reached a massive crystal dome at the city's center. Inside, thousands of Zentrans moved in perfect coordination, their harmonic voices creating complex mathematical equations that hung in the air as visible light patterns. This is the heart chamber, Princess Vera explained. Here we solve the great problems of existence through collective reasoning. Alex watched the incredible display of organized intelligence. The mathematical beauty of it was stunning, but something felt missing. It's amazing, he said. But do any of you ever just sing for the joy of singing? The question translated into harmonics that rippled through the chamber. Many of the working Zentrans paused in their calculations to look at the human visitor. Joy? Asked Rix. You refer to the emotional response to successful task completion? No, Alex said. I mean the feeling you get when you're so happy that you have to express it somehow. Like singing because the music makes you feel alive, or dancing because your body wants to move with the rhythm. Princess Vera's light patterns changed again, cycling through colors Alex hadn't seen before. We do not sing without purpose. Music serves to convey information or coordinate activities. But music can be beautiful just for its own sake, Alex protested. Back on Earth, people sing in the shower, or hum while they walk, or create songs just because they want to share feelings that are too big for words. The chamber fell completely silent. Thousands of Zenthrans focused their attention on Alex, their crystalline forms glowing with intense curiosity. "Show us," Princess Vera said quietly. "Show you what?" "Demonstrate this purposeless beauty you describe." Alex felt his face flush again. "I'm not a good singer. And I don't know any of your songs." "Sing something from your world," she insisted. "Something that serves no function except beauty." Alex took a deep breath and thought of his favorite song from childhood. It was simple and sweet, about sunshine and growing flowers. He began to sing softly, his voice echoing in the crystal chamber. As his voice carried through the space, something extraordinary happened. The crystals around him began to resonate with the melody, amplifying and enriching the simple tune. The mathematical light patterns shifted, rearranging themselves not for logic but to flow with the rhythm of the song. When Alex finished, the silence stretched for long moments. Then Princess Vera spoke, her voice carrying new harmonics he hadn't heard before. The crystalline matrix responded to acoustic patterns with no informational content, she said wonderfully. The resonance created aesthetic pleasure rather than functional output. "You felt it," Alex realized. "You felt how the music made the crystals more beautiful." "We experienced an unfamiliar form of harmonic satisfaction," Rix admitted. The mathematical patterns reorganized themselves to complement rather than analyze. Princess Vera stepped closer to Alex, her starlight eyes wide with amazement. "Human, what you have shown us suggests that we may have lost something important in our pursuit of perfect logic." "What do you mean?" Alex asked. "For thousands of years, we have evolved beyond what we considered primitive emotional responses. We believed that pure reasoning was the highest achievement of consciousness." She gestured to the crystal chamber around them. "But you see beauty where we see only function. You experience wonder where we calculate efficiency. You sing without purpose and find meaning in the act itself." Alex looked around at the gathered Zenthrans. Their light patterns had become more varied and dynamic, as if his presence had awakened something dormant in their crystalline hearts. "Maybe," he said carefully, "logic and emotion don't have to be opposites. Maybe they can work together." Princess Vera's entire form blazed with brilliant light. "You suggest that aesthetic appreciation could enhance rather than diminish intellectual capacity?" "Why not?" Alex replied. "When I look at your city, the beauty of it makes me want to understand how it works. The wonder I feel pushes me to learn more, to explore deeper. Beauty doesn't stop thinking. It makes thinking more joyful." The princess turned to address the assembled Zenthrans. "Tomorrow we will convene the full council. But tonight, I wish to learn more about this human perspective on aesthetic experience." As the crowd began to disperse, Princess Vera remained close to Alex. "You have disrupted our understanding of consciousness itself," she said. "Whether this proves beneficial or catastrophic remains to be determined." Alex smiled. "Sometimes the best discoveries come from beautiful accidents." The princess's light patterns shifted to warm gold hues. "Indeed. Your translation error may have been the most important communication in our species' history." As they walked through the crystal corridors toward the guest quarters, Alex couldn't help but notice how Princess Vera's beauty seemed to grow more complex with each moment. Her crystalline form held depths he was only beginning to appreciate. Tomorrow would bring the formal summit, with all its diplomatic protocols and careful negotiations. But tonight had already changed everything. The barrier between their species hadn't been broken by politics or technology. It had been dissolved by wonder. Princess Vera arrived at Alex's quarters before dawn, her crystalline form glowing softly in the purple twilight. She found him standing on the balcony, watching the twin suns rise over the crystal city. "You are awake early," she observed, her harmonic voice carrying curiosity. Alex turned, startled. "I couldn't sleep. Your world is so beautiful at sunrise." The way the light catches in all the crystal towers, it's like the whole city is singing with color. Vera moved beside him and followed his gaze. We measure dawn by the optimal angle for solar energy collection. The illumination efficiency reaches peak levels at this hour. But look at it, Alex said softly. Really look at it. See how each crystal catches the light differently. How the colors flow from one building to another like a slow dance. It's not just efficient. It's magical. Princess Vera stood silent for long moments, her light patterns shifting to deep thoughtful blues. When you speak of magic, you refer to aesthetic phenomena that evoke emotional responses beyond their practical function. Exactly, Alex replied. Beauty doesn't have to serve a purpose. It just has to make you feel something wonderful. This troubles our understanding, Vera admitted. We have spent millennia eliminating purposeless experiences. Yet you suggest these experiences have value. Alex leaned against the crystal railing. What if I told you that the most important discoveries in human history came from people who were curious about beautiful things that seemed useless? Explain. A human scientist named Isaac once watched an apple fall from a tree. He wasn't studying gravity or motion. He was just sitting in a beautiful garden, enjoying the day. But the way the apple fell looked interesting to him, and that curiosity led to understanding how planets move through space. Vera's eyes brightened with interest. Aesthetic appreciation led to scientific discovery. All the time, Alex said enthusiastically. Another human named Marie studied glowing crystals because she thought they were beautiful. That curiosity helped her discover new forms of energy. A mathematician named Albert played with beautiful equations just because he loved how elegant they looked. His play led to understanding the structure of space and time itself. The princess began to glow more intensely. You suggest that aesthetic wonder drives intellectual exploration. Wonder is what makes us want to learn, Alex replied. When something is beautiful or amazing, we want to understand it better. Beauty doesn't replace logic. It motivates logic. Princess Vera turned away from the sunrise and faced Alex directly. Your species uses emotional responses as tools for intellectual advancement. We don't think of it as using emotions, Alex said. We just follow our curiosity wherever it leads. Sometimes that means being logical and systematic. Sometimes it means being creative and imaginative. Usually it means both at the same time. Show me, Vera said suddenly. Show you what? How aesthetic appreciation leads to understanding. Demonstrate this process. Alex looked around the balcony and spotted a small crystal formation growing from the railing. It was intricate and delicate, with tiny chambers filled with swirling light. This little crystal is beautiful, he said, kneeling beside it. Look at how the light moves through those chambers. It's like watching thoughts flow through a mind. He examined it more closely, his curiosity growing. The patterns are so complex. How does it know how to grow in such perfect spirals? And why does the light move in those specific directions? Princess Vera watched as Alex's wonder transformed into analytical thinking. You are asking scientific questions. Because the beauty made me curious, Alex explained. I want to understand how something so amazing works. The wonder comes first, then the thinking follows. Among our people, thinking comes first, Vera said. We analyze function, then determine optimal configurations. But you might be missing possibilities, Alex suggested gently. What if there are beautiful solutions you haven't considered because you only look for logical ones? The princess's light patterns shifted to rapid cycling colors. You propose that aesthetic criteria could reveal functional innovations. Maybe, Alex said. What if beauty and function aren't separate things? What if the most beautiful solutions are also the best solutions? Princess Vera fell silent, her crystalline form pulsing with intense thought. Finally, she spoke. Come with me. I wish to conduct an experiment. She led Alex through the crystal city to a massive laboratory complex. Inside, hundreds of Zentrans worked on various research projects. Their movements were precise and coordinated, their harmonic conversations focused on data and calculations. Our greatest minds work here, Vera explained. They seek solutions to problems that have challenged us for centuries. She approached a group of scientists studying a complex energy matrix. The lead researcher, whose crystal body held deep green hues, looked up as they approached. "Princess Vera," he said. "We continue our analysis of power distribution inefficiencies. Current calculations suggest 17 possible solutions." "Glenn," she replied, "I want you to meet Alex, the human diplomat. He suggests a different approach to problem solving." Glenn examined Alex with polite curiosity. "Greetings, human. Do you possess relevant technical expertise?" "Not really," Alex admitted. "But I'm curious about your energy matrix. It's beautiful how the power flows through those geometric patterns." "Beauty is not a relevant factor," Glenn replied. "We measure efficiency, stability, and output optimization." Alex studied the glowing energy matrix more carefully. The power flowed in straight, logical lines between connection points. "It works perfectly," he said. "But what if it could be more than perfect?" "Explain." "Well, look at how energy flows in nature," Alex said. "Rivers don't flow in straight lines. They curve and spiral. Lightning doesn't travel in perfect geometric patterns. It branches and dances. Maybe there's something powerful about those natural flowing shapes." Glenn's light patterns shifted to puzzled yellows. "You suggest mimicking chaotic natural phenomena?" "Not chaotic," Alex corrected. "Beautiful. Natural patterns look random, but they're actually following deeper rules that we don't always understand." Princess Vera stepped forward. "Glenn, humor our guest. Model energy flow using organic patterns instead of geometric ones." Glenn looked skeptical but activated a holographic projection system. "Very well. I will modify the matrix to incorporate curved pathways resembling natural phenomena." As Glenn worked, Alex watched the energy patterns change. Instead of straight lines, power began to flow in gentle spirals and branching curves. The efficiency readings climbed steadily higher. "Fascinating," Glenn murmured. "The curved pathways are reducing resistance. Flow rates are increasing by 23%. "But why?" asked another scientist. Alex grinned. "Because nature has been solving these problems for millions of years. Rivers curve because curved paths handle turbulence better than straight ones. Lightning branches because branching patterns distribute energy more efficiently. Beauty isn't just decoration. Sometimes beauty is the solution." Princess Vera's entire form blazed with excitement. "Glenn, implement these modifications across all power systems. Then gather the other research teams. We are changing our methodology." Over the following hours, Alex found himself at the center of a scientific revolution. Research teams brought him their most challenging problems, not because he had answers, but because his human perspective revealed new ways of asking questions. When transportation specialists showed him their efficient but uncomfortable crystal vehicles, Alex asked why they couldn't be beautiful too. His suggestions led to designs that were not only more aesthetically pleasing but also more aerodynamic and energy efficient. When communication engineers presented their logical but monotonous message systems, Alex wondered why they couldn't be musical. The resulting harmonic protocols carried information more clearly while creating pleasant emotional experiences for users. When environmental designers explained their perfectly controlled atmospheric systems, Alex asked what would happen if they included natural variations like breezes and changing light. The modified systems proved both more beautiful and better for Zentran's long-term health. As the day progressed, Princess Vera stayed close to Alex, observing every interaction. Her light patterns had become more complex and varied, cycling through colors he had never seen in any Zentrans. "You are changing," Alex observed during a brief break. "We all are," she replied. Your aesthetic perspective is awakening dormant aspects of our consciousness. We had not realized how much we lost in our pursuit of pure logic. You didn't lose anything, Alex said gently. You just forgot to use part of what you had. Logic and emotion, thinking and feeling, efficiency and beauty, they all work better together. Princess Vera moved closer to him. Alex, what you have given us in one day is more valuable than any political alliance. You have shown us a way to rediscover wonder. And you've shown me intelligence beyond anything I imagined, Alex replied. When you combine Zenthran's logic with human curiosity, the results are incredible. The Summit Council convenes soon, Vera said. But I believe our discussions will focus less on territorial agreements and more on cultural exchange. They made their way to the Great Assembly, a vast crystal amphitheater where representatives from across the Zenthran's empire had gathered. As Alex entered, thousands of crystalline beings turned to regard him with intense interest. The formal negotiations began with traditional protocols, but quickly evolved into something unprecedented. Instead of discussing trade routes and defense pacts, the assembly wanted to understand human aesthetic philosophy. Alex found himself explaining concepts that had never needed explanation before. How humans found meaning in sunsets that served no practical purpose. Why people created art and music and poetry just for the joy of creation. How wonder and curiosity drove exploration and discovery. The Zenthrans responded with growing excitement. They began sharing their own forgotten experiences, moments when they had noticed beauty in mathematical equations, or felt satisfaction in harmonic combinations that served no logical function. We propose a new form of alliance, Princess Vera announced to the assembly. Not merely political or economic cooperation, but intellectual and aesthetic partnership. What does this mean? Asked one of the elder representatives. It means Zenthran's teachers will learn human approaches to creative problem solving, she explained. And human students will learn Zenthran's methods of logical analysis. We will combine our species' strengths. But more than that, Alex added, we'll learn to see the universe through each other's eyes. Humans will understand the beauty of pure logic. Zenthrans will rediscover the power of wonder. The assembly erupted in harmonic discussions. The idea of aesthetic intellectual partnership was unprecedented in Zenthrans history, but the practical benefits Alex had already demonstrated were undeniable. Elder Roy, the most senior representative, spoke for the assembly. Human Alex, your accidental honesty yesterday has led to intentional revolution today. How do we formalize this cultural exchange? Alex looked around the crystal amphitheater, seeing thousands of ancient minds opening to new possibilities. We start small, he said. A few humans come to learn from you. A few Zenthrans visit Earth. We share our best discoveries and most beautiful creations. We learn together. And, Princess Vera added, we remember that the greatest achievements come from partnership between logic and wonder, thinking and feeling, efficiency and beauty. The assembly voted unanimously to establish the first interspecies cultural academy. Humans and Zenthrans would work together on everything from scientific research to artistic creation, combining their unique perspectives to solve problems neither could handle alone. As the formal ceremonies concluded, Alex and Princess Vera stood together on the assembly balcony, watching the crystal city glow in the evening light. Tomorrow you return to Earth, she said. But this is only the beginning. I know, Alex replied. Humans will come here to learn about logic and harmony. Zenthrans will visit Earth to study emotion and creativity. Both our species will be stronger for it. Princess Vera's light patterns shifted to warm, golden hues. When you first said I was beautiful, I thought it was merely biological response. Now I understand it was recognition of something deeper. What's that? Alex asked. The recognition that consciousness itself is beautiful, she replied. That thinking and feeling and wondering are all expressions of the same amazing phenomenon. Life celebrating itself. Alex smiled. You know, for someone who claimed your people don't understand beauty, you just said something pretty beautiful yourself. The princess laughed, a sound like crystal bells ringing in harmony. Perhaps we are learning from each other already. As the twin suns set over Zenthra, their light creating rainbows in every crystal surface, Alex realized that his translation error had become something far more important than diplomatic success. It had become the bridge between two forms of consciousness, proving that wonder and wisdom were not opposites but partners in understanding the magnificent complexity of existence. The alliance they had forged would change both species forever, teaching them that the universe was vast enough to hold both perfect logic and perfect beauty, and that the greatest discoveries awaited those brave enough to embrace both.